Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Selling your car should feel like one less thing on your list, not one more. With Carvana, it is. Just go to Carvana.com, enter your license plate or VIN, and get a real offer down to the penny. No back and forth, no surprises, just an experience you can trust. Like your offer? Accept it. Schedule pickup, and we'll come to you with a check in hand. Your car, your timeline, your terms. Visit Carvana.com to sell your car today. Carvana. Delivery fees and terms may apply.
It's the 77 WABC News Hour.
Talking the news with Noam Laden.
All the news you need to know with Joe Nolan, traffic, Justin Ellick, sports. And now,
Talking the news with Noam
on 77 WABC.
Yes, that's me. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 20th. Your forecast from the 77 WABC Weather Center. Sunshine this morning. Thunderstorms likely this afternoon. High 92. Tonight and overnight, cloudy, low 59, and then a whole lot chillier for Thursday. Rain early, clouds in the afternoon. The high may just be 62. If you're walking out the door with us right now, so happy you are. 67 and clear in Riverhead out on Long Island. It's 74 and clear in Cedar Grove over in New Jersey. And it's 75 and clear right outside our Midtown studios. WABC News Time 541. Let's get you more information on that woman who plunged to her death after stepping out of her car into an open manhole in Midtown Manhattan on Monday night. Identified as family members as 56-year-old Danica Gocha, who's from Briarcliff up in Westchester. So she parked her Mercedes-Benz at 52nd and 5th Avenue just before 11:30 p.m. She stepped out of the car and then apparently directly into this uncovered manhole, suggesting she never had a chance. She didn't see it. So she fell down about 10 feet. Carlton Wood, who was on his way to work, he saw the whole thing play out.
As soon as she stepped out, it's like she took one step forward and just disappeared. She was screaming, "I'm dying." That's what I kept hearing her screaming over and over, "I'm dying." Some guy tried to get in the hole with her. We had to help him back up because she was just too deep.
Yeah, so he says everybody tried to figure out how to help her as they waited for police and firefighters to show up.
She wasn't distracted. She didn't walk onto a construction site. I mean, she parked her car, stepped out of her car, and dropped right into the manhole. To hear, she was a grandmother, it's just awful. There's so much construction going on. There's so much happening. And in a split second, you could end up in a situation like this.
Now, Con Ed telling us they reviewed video footage, determined, as police have suspected, that a truck dislodged the cover of the manhole and that the steam inside caused the grandmother to go into cardiac arrest after she had fallen 10 feet. I mean, it just doesn't get any more awful of a story. They were able to eventually get her out of this manhole. She was taken to New York Presbyterian Hospital where she passed away. Now her family members, of course, want more answers on how this could have happened, as New Yorkers do.
Come out of your car, you think that maybe you're going home. It's not really something you would consider.
I think it's awful because these are like hazards. You can't see them. It's dark. You walk into them, just like those stores with those open grates, and I'm constantly looking at the ground for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Con Ed releasing a statement, of course, sympathy for the family and suggesting they're going to try to figure out exactly what took place, why that manhole, they say it's a truck, but why a truck was able to dislodge it. 544, the NYPD searching for a prisoner that bolted from police custody in Brooklyn yesterday afternoon. This was about 1 in the afternoon outside the Brooklyn Criminal Courthouse. Officers were bringing a 21-year-old who had been arrested earlier in the day in Brownsville to the courthouse. When he got out of the van with the prisoner, he broke free and ran off. It wasn't immediately clear if he was handcuffed, which of course would make him a little bit easier to find. No word yet on why he was originally arrested or what charges he were facing. But as of this morning, they told us he's so far not in custody. 544. More details emerging on the deal that was made to end the LIRR strike. Now, yesterday they weren't telling us anything. We have more today. Union workers will get 3% pay raises for the first 2 years of the contract and 3.5% for the third year. Now, the sticking point was that fourth year where they wanted 4% raises. They're essentially getting that when all said and done. It's a little complicated. I would get into the weeds, but it's not that interesting. But essentially, they got what they were asking for before the strike took place, which suggests that maybe people did not have to be inconvenienced for the 3 days that they were. Well, commuters yesterday, especially those going to the Knicks game, were excited that trains were really fully up and running by game time yesterday.
Oh my God, I was nervous. I just wanted to get to the city, see the Knicks. It's all back. We got the text last night at like midnight that everything was good.
Empire State of Mind right there, just in time, just when we needed it.
Yeah, so union workers will vote on this deal tomorrow.
I think it's a great thing because I think the workers need to get their money.
I've never appreciated the Long Island Railroad as much as I do today.
Yeah, I bet. The MTA was seeking concessions from workers to help offset the cost of wage increases. Not clear they got that.
I'm happy because I just lost a whole day and a half. Half a day today, a whole day yesterday. I'm very glad they came to agreement quickly, too, before this week was out. If I would have missed this whole week, I would have been terrible.
Now on the way back, fortunately, I can take the Long Island Railroad back to Hicksville. I'm happy that, that we're kind of finally back to a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah, again, those workers set to vote on that deal, which is expected to pass tomorrow. 546, let's head over to the 77 WABC Sports Desk, where my good friend Justin has a well-deserved day off. So you've got me. The Knicks erased a 22-point deficit. Less than 8 minutes left of the fourth quarter. They just stunned the Cavaliers. 115-104 in overtime at the Garden last night. Jalen Brunson led all scorers, 38 points. Donovan Mitchell sunk 29 for Cleveland, which will try to even this best-of-7 Eastern Conference Finals at one game apiece on Thursday back at MSG. Yankees, they won back-to-back games, topping the Blue Jays 5-4 Yankee Stadium last night. Ben Rice slugged a 2-run shot. New York continues its 4-game series with Toronto back in the Bronx tonight. Mets unable to extend their winning ways. They gave up a 5-run lead to lose to the Nationals 9-6 in D.C. Nolan McLean was tagged with the loss after allowing 9 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks. New York had won 3 straight. Will continue its 4-game series with Washington tonight. Stanley Cup playoffs continue. The Colorado Avalanche hosting the Vegas Golden Knights, Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. The Avalanche won 2 of their 3 battles against the Golden Knights during the regular season. Eastern Conference Final set to begin on Thursday. The Carolina Hurricanes are hosting the Canadiens for Game 1. And it was day 1 yesterday of the NFL spring meetings. The league voted to award Super Bowl 64 to Nashville for the first time. The game will be played at the new home of the Tennessee Titans, which is scheduled to open in time for next season. In other news, the league announced that 10 games next season will be played internationally. Sports is sponsored by our good friend Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a dealer near you. Peerless Boilers, they are the world's best built boilers. WABC News Time 549. Let's go out to Long Island. Never good to get involved in a road rage incident. My wife is, she probably won't be happy that I'm telling you this, but sometimes she feels like she needs to roll down the window and yell at somebody who's done something. And I tell her that I do these stories all the time, and they never end well. And that's the case on Long Island yesterday in Mastic. A 25-year-old man got into a fight with a 71-year-old as they were driving. They both pulled over. Then the 25-year-old pulled out some sort of weapon. We don't know what it was. And he stabbed the 71-year-old in the neck as they were exchanging words. Now, thank God the 71-year-old is going to be okay, but you just got to keep it in check. People do stupid things on the roadway. Ignore it, because unfortunately, a lot of times they do stories like this and end up this way.
That's bad. That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that bad around here, but That's sad, heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was somebody in the parking lot of where this confrontation took place. The 71-year-old taken to a nearby hospital for treatments that thankfully not considered life-threatening. It didn't take long for police to figure out who this 25-year-old was. They got a description of the car, found him just about an hour later. 5:51, a Bronx mom pleading for justice after the man accused of killing her 21-year-old son released from custody with only an ankle monitor, a decision that she says, has left her family devastated and afraid. Now, Justin Barnwell was shot and killed back in April in the River Park Towers in the Bronx, allegedly by the 76-year-old neighbor who was in a dispute with him over loud music that was being played in the house. And now his mom, who's lost her son, Justin, says that this is just devastating, that they would let this guy out from behind bars after what he did to her son.
It's just hard, you know? And I feel I'm not settled because I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I bet. The Bronx District Attorney's Office says Gilbert Small's attorney, that's the guy accused of murdering her son, filed a bail application in April. Prosecutors apparently did not oppose the request, and the family is notified that a judge approved Small's release with an ankle monitor. Mom Melinda says that's crazy, and she's right, it is crazy.
I just feel unsafe and uneasy with this man out. He still gets to be with his family. He still gets to do whatever he wants. I can't get to talk to my son again, you know? He has the privilege to do that. And I don't understand how they're giving this man the privilege to walk the street.
I don't get it either. The guy should be behind bars. Small is due back in court come September 2nd. 5:53, Mayor Mamdani making pre-K and 3K more accessible for New Yorkers. The city's offered nearly 100,000 families for 3K and pre-K seats for next school year, including 2,000 additional 3K seats.
We have extended offers that meet New York's families where they are. 70% of families received an offer from their top 3K choice, which is a 5% increase from last year.
Now, the mayor announcing also that the distance between a 3K family's home and the child care center they have been assigned has been reduced by 6 blocks on average for most families across New York City. 5:53, let's go over to New Jersey, where this is happening all over again. Last night, fights and large crowds of unruly teenagers forced the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office to institute a curfew at Pier Village. This is right along the beach, about 8 o'clock last night. You remember we had all those problems last year around Memorial Day in a number of beach towns? Well, already we're having them. This one in Long Branch. Police with riot shields were seen last night clearing out crowds. Video showed teens fighting with each other. Others posted on social media shows this a large group of young people gathered at the location, loud music heard in the background.
The beach was never like this. There weren't always fights. We always came here as kids. It was so calm, but now it's just like crazy.
Yeah, so apparently it was one of these so-called pop-up parties that we're seeing everywhere that are spread all over social media, and police try to keep track of these things, but of course it's not so easy to do, and they think that's what happened last night in this party, totally getting out of hand. They had to see these guys with riot shields walking through the streets of Long Branch was pretty intense. WABC News Time 5:54. We'll end with this story. If you ever leave something behind on a bus or a subway, there's a chance now that you could be reunited with it. The MTA working harder to get items back to people. New York City Transit doing the same. They have a lost and found. They've had this for a long time. But now they're making extra efforts to try to identify the owner of items that are turned in or left on the subway. So this one guy lost his bag recently that had all these tools in it, these barber tools in it, and he was able to get it back because the people at the Lost and Found in Queens did some work to try to figure out who he was, and they got his bag back to him.
We do our best to identify the item, find any contact information to notify the owner. We search our database and our web portal to see if you filed any report and if there's anything similar that, and try to match it connected to the owners.
Now, the bad news is that items are not claimed within 6 months, are auctioned off. They talk about the fact that they've seen some crazy things come into this lost and found. People leave the oddest things on subway trains.
When I think I've seen it all, it always tops it. We get prosthetics, surfboards, crutches, dentures.
How do you leave your prosthetic on the subway? You would think that'd be something you would remember. They've gotten cremated remains. In that case, they were able to reunite the person with those remains. And that Queens man who lost his bag of hair cutting tools, he just left it on the train, he said it was incredible. He thought he'd never see them again.
No, I actually did not. Even the company said, hey, that bag is gone. It's okay. Don't stress yourself over it. But I appreciate them. And I never gave up since the cops didn't say, hey, you know what? We didn't see anything about your bag. They actually told me, hey, we might have something about your bag, so don't worry. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, so there's a shot, at least in the last 6 months. If you've left something on a subway or a bus, head over to the MTA's website. It'll direct you to their lost and found.